Hey guys, I found this really cool book at the thrift store. It's the Mason Jar Cookie Cookbook, and it's by Lynette Parks. And she has a bunch of recipes in here for cookies in a jar and bars in a jar. And I haven't tried any of them, but I do a lot of cookies in a jar and bars in a jar for gifting. So it's always nice to have more recipes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test these one by one. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but I will eventually do probably half the book. And this goes into a 1 liter jar, wide mouth. And I'm just going to put it all in, and I will give you the exact amounts and the measurements under the Show More box. So the first thing I always do when I do my jars is I always make a makeshift funnel. It stops it from splashing up on the walls. So I'm just going to put my flour in. A little bit more time consuming this way, but it will save you from cleaning the jar. That seems like a lot of flour. And I'm going to just find something to tap it down with, if I can. And I'm just going to fill the jar, and then I'm going to go ahead and make these to see what they're like. Then I'm going to put in the salt and baking soda. And then here comes my cocoa. Now, if you were gifting, you would be doing a lot better job than I'm doing right now. There we go, that's better. Let's see. I can tap this down. These are called Death by Chocolate. Then I'm going to put in my sugar, which I think I'm okay without a... Wow, that's a lot. And this is supposed to fit into a 1 liter jar. It obviously does not. So these measurements are not correct, I don't think. And this is why you always test recipes before you go and try to give them as gifts. So I'm supposed to fit this much more sugar and a cup of chocolate chips. And that is packed down. So that didn't work out very well. And this is why I usually call my kitchen a test kitchen. Okay. That certainly didn't work. And it says, let me see. Yeah, sorry for that. That was my throat scratching. 1 quart wide mouth canning jar. Well, that is 1 quart mouth canning jar. And this is why you prepare ahead of time, because you just never know what you're going to get from a recipe. Well, now I'm just curious to see if it would... I reversed it, by the way. I took it back out of the jar and I put it in. You can see it's kind of messed up now, but I took it back out of the jar little by little and made sure that the measurements were correct. They were correct. So now I'm just super curious to see if this recipe would work at all with this kind of measurement. And I am being a complete mess right now, because at this point there's no making it look nice. So I'm just putting it in any which way, thinking that maybe somebody out there would think that if you didn't pack it down, everything would fit. But I think that it's not going to fit. No, because that's not packed down. And we still have this much cocoa. And I'm making a huge mess at this point, because at this point it doesn't really matter. And all of this. Okay, so that recipe was a total bomb in a jar. But I'm also curious to see if the actual recipe would work without putting it in a jar. Just make it as a regular cookie without trying to fit it into a jar, and what it tastes like. So what I'm going to do, because all these ingredients are all mixed up, anyway, they're already half mixed, is I'm going to get my bowl of other ingredients and then I'll come back. I have dumped all the ingredients that were supposed to go in the jar, plus the butter and 2 eggs and vanilla in here. I creamed the butter, and I'm just going to mix this up really well and see what happens. And when this is mixed up really well, or somewhat, I'm going to put my, no, I'm going to put it in right now. Never mind. Forget about mixing it well. At this point, you know, I think that I'm not too confident in what this is going to taste like, but, you know, if this turns out to be a great recipe, which I don't think it is, because already you can see that this is going to be really, really dry. Really dry. But I'm going to do my best at mixing it, and then I will come back. Okay, I have mixed and mixed. I used my hand blender. It is very, very stiff. Very stiff. I was going to put a little bit of milk in there, and I thought, nope, I'm just going to see how these come out without tweaking them. So I'm just going to use my ice cream scoop, and I'm just going to put it on my parchment, and I'm preheating my oven to 350. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to help these along a little bit and pat them down just a bit. Helps to wet your palms too. And I'm going to keep on going like this, and I'm going to bake them for, I'm not sure actually, I mean the recipe says 8 to 10 minutes, but I'm going to see, and then I'll come back and give you the result. They're done, they're cooled, they're just slightly warm. So this is what the results are. They come out beautifully. They are actually very moist on the inside and very creamy. Hold on, let me get you one of these. And very creamy. And I have tasted these. I'm going to taste one again. As a basic recipe, this is a keeper. They turned out really, really well. Now, can I fit that into a mason jar? The one that I really wanted was a mason jar recipe. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going in the mason jar. But as a standard recipe, it's a keeper. They are very, very delicious. So the mason jar bombed, but overall as a cookie recipe, it's really fantastic. Till next time, hey do.